good one, but I just did a post that Janet and Jay and Caesar did about working hard, the talent team working hard to promote your show. So I just did a rebuttal of that. You know what I mean? And hope they like it. I hope they like it. Thank you, Joe. So we're gonna give it a few minutes in here, man, to get people in the building, man. This show really means a lot to me. You know what I mean? Because it gives a platform that men can actually use their voice, man, and see things from a men's perspective. You know what I mean? So a lot of times these days, the suicide rate is like 85-15, and most of them is 85 is men percentage. You know what I mean? So that being said, man, we got a platform created something that a man can use their voice. It's all men dressed up, suited and booted. You know what I mean? I had to get swagged up a little bit, Had to get swagged up, you know what I mean? But all the men, how many men we got in here, y'all? Put a one in the comment. How many men we got in here? See, mostly you see women in a lot of women in my stream, man. So, so it's good to see men coming here just to hear our voice, man. Everybody's voice and opinions matter, but I just think that men need to be outspoken. So, at the end of the day, man, it doesn't make you soft. It doesn't make you weak because you show your emotions. You know what I mean? Or whatever. How life takes us, man. So we got to break that generation curse. You know what I mean? And also we had two of my most amazing dear friends to me, man. That's in here with me, that which holding me down. I can't do this without y'all, man. So big shout out to the admins and people putting this together, man. So I want to say thank y'all so much. I greatly appreciate y'all, man. So today, last week, one of y'all of the show was Sosa. Okay, Sosa was the last week winner, and this is how it goes. Okay, I am looking forward to see what next week's topic. Right, whoever my top gifter is by the end of the show, they choose what topic we going to follow in the next week. Okay, so whoever it is, y'all, make sure you guys just think about it. You know what I'm saying? Or whatever topic that's on y'all mind, please be open to whatever you want to talk about, y'all. And if it's something that you guys may be going through something, or a friend may be going through something, or something that you may be struggling with. You know what I mean? Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it, man. So she's going about 4 more minutes, man, to get people in here. But I am super excited about this one, y'all. I'm loving that show. I appreciate you. Yeah, get in there. Thank y'all. Thank y'all. Appreciate y'all so much. Titus wanted to talk about it. He been talking all day. Okay, Titus been talking all day. So, but I want to say welcome you guys. And, I always get enough people at 7:10. I am going to open up with a prayer, man. I love praying. Praying is very important to me in my life. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, we here to be good and be proud, man. And remember, never stop being a good person because of bad people. You know what I mean? Constantly just open up your ears and listen. He said, you see men, depression rises, also rises up, LGBT communities somehow. It's later. You know what? It's another topic for another day. Depression is real, y'all. You can't see that stuff. You know what I mean? So, there's another topic. But today we're talking about interracial relationships. So we're going to stick to the max. But if you have any questions, hit the admins up. If you guys want to be on the show, they IG is in the bio. And you got Brookie right here. And then we got Ocean in the comments. Just please hit them up, man. I greatly appreciate you guys. Anything you want to say real quick? I got to grab me a bottle of water, y'all. So I apologize. Let's get it.
Just welcome everyone and thank you for coming. Like, can everyone hit the share button of this live? So down the bottom, you've got the dots and you can share the live. This is the second show. Country is trying to get this show to be featured. So please just talk about it with your friends, especially the males. Like if you know anyone, send them to Ocean or myself. Ocean is in the comments. She's not very well today, so please pray for her, guys. She's been absolutely amazing. But please pray for her. If you have any questions, there is time at the end, as she's saying, to hop in the box. We'd love to see you in the box, and just like hear your voice and ask the men some questions. If you don't feel comfortable, write them in the comments. Myself and Ocean are going to be looking at the comments and like writing, taking some of those down for country to try and ask. This is an hour and 15-minute show, so we are time permitted, but we're going to do our best and just interact, have fun, be positive, no bullying. People have different views on different things, but we can all come together and be mutual. We don't have to be mean or aggressive to anyone. So please refrain from any of that because you will be removed from the stream. This is a safe place. Yeah. And everyone, be the top gifter so you can choose a topic. It's big. You go on his flyer as well. You get spoken about on the show. Like it's a bit of clout too.
Talk your talk now. Big shout out to Sosa, man. Yeah, I just want to say thank you guys again for everything. You know what I mean? I just want to open this up with a prayer, y'all. I love praying. So you guys, I couldn't have done this without y'all. You know what I mean? So the men in here, big shout out to y'all. Big shout out to the ladies. The greatest weakness to a man is a woman. You know what I mean? But men have to use their voice. You know what I mean? So I just want to close with a prayer. Y'all be in agreement with me, y'all. Um, Father God, I just want to say thank you for this day that you restored upon us. Allow us to be in it. So right now we're going to be glad and rejoice this day, Father, that you're made of us. And right now, Father, I ask you just make this stream smooth as possible and just open ears up to people that's willing to listen and they can take from it for whatever situation they be going through. I bind anything that's going against depression and anxiety and stress, Father. It says clear their pathways and just allow us to pour love in one another for each other, Father. Just want to say thank you. Allow me to be the vessel that you want me to be and be fruitful of your garden. And I just ask you right now, Father, just protect everybody that's leaving work or going to work, Father. Just send the angels out before them to protect them, to make their day go smooth as possible. And we couldn't have not done this without you, Father. And I say this to you in Jesus' name, amen. Amen. Let's
Amen.
get it, y'all. Let's
Amen.
get it, okay?
All right.
We here. We
So both
here.
guests request the box,
So
please.
we got some two of my amazing men, man. I have my brother Masterpiece and I have my brother Freezy. Masterpiece is getting himself together right now, y'all. So I see y'all. If I don't say nothing in the comments, you know what I mean. I'm gonna try to focus more now on what's in front of me, man. So the admins will be able to jot down some of these questions towards the end and give you guys the opportunity to ask y'all questions for the two amazing guests for the show. You know what I mean? So I am excited, y'all. Are y'all ready? Put a one in the comment, man. Are y'all ready? I know I am. You know, let's get it popping. Let's get it popping. I appreciate y'all so much, y'all. Man, we got a strong 20. Hey, whoever just left the building, go find them. Okay, we just had 22. I need to put out a search warrant. Whoever that was just left, they missing out. Okay, I need a search warrant out right now. Go find them and bring them back. Put out an APB. Nobody leaves the building. Okay, this is worth listening to. We got some men about to drop some knowledge. Okay, we here. All right, y'all. Right now, y'all, the guests, y'all more to take the seat. And he said, lock the doors. Talk your talk, general. Lock them doors up. Once you in, you in. And ladies, listen, you can learn a lot from it. Okay, you can learn a lot from it. Men, you can learn a lot from it. I know I'm super here to learn right now, y'all. We got the general in the building, man. Big shout out to the general. Hey, look at cleaning the Winn-Dixie chicken. Look at him, man.
How you doing today, brother?
See, this is the men taking the seat. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We dress to impress. You know what I
Yes,
mean?
indeed.
It's like going to an interview, man. You don't go sloppy to an interview. You know what I mean? We come here to let know we got to get the job done. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, indeed.
All right, y'all. I'm glad to have
What's
you
up,
guys
brother
You
be
already
here.
know.
All
Yeah.
right, you guys introduce yourselves real quick, y'all.
I'm General Freezy. I'm straight. I'm happy to support this event. Working with a good brother, Big Country and Masterpiece. We have these intellectual conversations. Me and Masterpiece, we go at it for a minute, and if we can reach people and help people lot of times in our stream, we get people who just need somebody to talk to. So we want to be that and talk about these subjects that everyone deal on a daily basis. I'm gonna pass it to Masterpiece. Go ahead, sir.
Shout out General Freezy. Yeah,
Mhm.
absolutely. It's really important that we communicate about these things so that we can learn people's different experiences and perspectives. Because to me, that's like the root of what we're talking about tonight.
Super excited, y'all. So let me ask you guys a question real quick before we get to these questions. The importance of interracial relationships. Like, what does that mean to y'all in this day and age, in this time right now? Freezy.
All right, for me, I think it's important that we spend more things on what can connect us than divide us, right? Uh, Through education, we realize that we all bleed red, right? There's no indifference between us except for cultures, right? We have cultural things, our upbringings, and different things that define the way that we think. When we can tear down those barriers and actually overcome fear and talk to people, we realize that people of different cultures, different ethnicities are pretty much the same. You know, it's wise people and fools in the world.
What about you,
Facts, facts.
Masterpiece?
Well, I think it's really essential that we get involved in and talk about these things because unless people are in a very isolated situation in their own place and culture, they were born there or they were raised there, they never traveled outside of that, we're almost all going to be involved in interracial relationships. It's it as cultures are mixed and are spread throughout the world, like it's very difficult to avoid that. Even myself, I'm a mix. I'm not just European. I'm not just Scandinavian. I'm not just this or that. And we all wind up kind of becoming a mixed dichotomy as our generations evolve. So I think it's really good to be aware of the issues that come up rather than just saying that these are problems. I think a lot of times things get written up as stereotypes attributed to certain races and cultures.
Well, for me, it's I have a mixed daughter. My daughter name is Heaven, right? So, but I grew up in Mississippi. It was very hard for me, from where I grew up at, for interracial couples. You didn't see a lot back then, man, and we dealt with a lot of overcoming a lot of obstacles in my life. But I do know that way I was raised, my mom says, "Listen, if you love that person, I love that person." You know what I mean? If it makes you happy, it makes me happy. She
Mm.
didn't talk about color or whatnot, man. But today and age, a lot of society, man, still say things that people shouldn't say. You know what I mean? Instead of coming together. So this to me, this particular topic means a lot to me because I have an interracial daughter. You know what I'm saying? So and I was with a mom for over 10 years. You know what I'm saying? So, but where I live at now, Minnesota, it's a lot of interracial dating culture in Minnesota. You get what I'm saying? So, but I'm gonna dive into the first question, y'all. Real quick, it says, and we'll start from Freezy to Masterpiece. We're gonna keep it that way all for the rest of the show. So it says, have you ever been in an interracial relationship? If so, how did your family and friends react?
No, I've never been in an interracial relationship. I had goals. I dated to, well, I didn't really date. I wanted to be married and be in that type of situation. So I never really experienced, but I have a lot of family members that are. You know, my grandfather was, my dad's dad was white. Um, so I understand, right? I come from a family that has both white people and black people in it. So I understand those indifferences.
Okay.
Um, yeah, I mean, for me, with the exception of a couple of very early, very short-lived relationships, all of my relationships, my whole adult life, have been interracial to one degree or another. I was with a mixed Latina girl for a short time before I was 21. At 21, I got involved with a beautiful black and Cuban girl that I was with on and off for like 9 years. My first wife was Korean, or my first wife was Thai. My second wife was half Korean. And I've been involved in many different racial situations my in my romantic life, to the point where I feel very comfortable in almost all of them. Uh, but I would say that probably the earliest one that affected my family that like my parents saw and met and got to know was the black and Cuban girl that I was with um, for quite some time. And we didn't really find too many cultural barriers because she didn't have a lot of affinity for the culture that her family brought to her life. Like she really liked the lifestyle that we had. When we were exposed to the family, it was kind of like a little bit of culture shock. But then years later, I wound up living with her family and being very immersed in that culture. So for me, it came down to how open-minded my family was to different races and different cultures from the start. That opened the door for it. And so even though my father may have had some racial prejudices, they didn't really impact my relationships.
Okay. Okay. I appreciate that, y'all. Listen, welcome to Men Take a Seat with Big Country, man. We have two amazing men in the seat right now, which is General Freezy and Masterpiece. We talking about interracial dating. And I just want to let you guys know, as of last week, Sosa have won. She was the highest gifter last week, and she had gave us our topic for this week. So right now, y'all, whoever the top stream of the show, the top gift of the show, will actually give us the topic for the following week. So just let you guys know it will end at 8:15. So anything past
Okay.
8:15, it don't count. Okay. So to make sure that you guys understand,
And
we're looking forward to hear what you guys say, what's on your mind, what topic you want to talk about. So we're gonna get
and
down to the next
if I can
question here,
just
y'all.
mention to the men in the comments that want to be in the box, that want to give their 2 cents, like talk to the admins, let them know you want to be on the show. That way you can get in here, you can get in the box, and you can join Big Country talking about these issues as a man taking the seat to be at the forefront of this. You can talk to Brookie, you can talk to Ocean.
Amen. Amen. I appreciate y'all. Welcome, y'all. So the next question is, how do you think society views interracial couples and individual involved in such relationships?
That question there, it's broad, right? We got to break it down. Society view is a bunch of different people, right? We try a lot of times we try to generalize society, but you have people that's for and you have people against it. So then we got to get into breaking it down based off of regions, whether a person is cultured, have they traveled to different regions? Are they in a relationship because they want to understand that culture, and do they accept the how people are viewed, right? Based on different spots that you go. Say you go to a Chick-fil-A, you might get a different response if you go to a gala, right? There's a lot of factors that affect that topic, and there's a lot of subtopics and cultures that we have to address. Do you want to add anything in, Masterpiece, or
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I think it has a lot to do with where people were from, where they were raised, how cultured they were growing up. And by cultured, I mean how much did they travel and were exposed to other cultures and other ways that people do things. Because there's so much variety when you get down, especially to the outer counties and outer towns throughout the world, the smaller villages. There's so much variety to cultural traditions and to cultural prejudices that it's hard to pinpoint it. Like, for example, I can say that my second wife, there were certain neighborhoods in LA that she didn't want to go into because there was animosity towards mixed Asian couples in them. You know, different places and different states and counties and towns that I've been to have just had generally different attitudes. So it's totally different where we go and who we deal with in an
I,
interracial relationship.
I want to do a caveat, and it goes what Big Country said earlier. When he was in Mississippi, it was a lot different how people viewed it, and then when he got to
Yes.
Minneapolis, it's a whole different. So it
Mm.
really depends on how people have moved, right? The South, you're going to get a lot more of that because it's a long, stronger hold of racism, you know, Pulaski, Tennessee, and that type of area, you're going to get a different response. But as a person that live in these type of, I'm in Alabama, as things change, people are more accepted. You see a lot more
Yeah, yeah,
interracial
yeah, yeah.
dating.
Absolutely, man. And again, y'all, like it is. I'm a young 45. Okay, I'm gonna just
Hmm.
throw it out there. When I grew up, man, like I remember the time, man, that I got chased on the football field by KKKs. You know what I'm saying? And then my first girlfriend was white. You know what I mean? So like to not be accepted in the place. And when I got to Minnesota, I swear to you, y'all, I was nervous. I seen all these interracial couples. I'm like, man, am I in heaven or what? Because you're not used to seeing it, right? So I'm like, it took me a time to step back and look. I'm like, man, is this what's going on? And I was just struck by like what's really going on here, man. So um but yeah, it's different where you live at, man. Some places are more accepted than others. But I want to throw a curve. I want to throw a curve question in here. My question to you guys, and it's everybody in the comments: do you find it more difficult for a woman that's dating a guy outside of her race versus a man outside of her race? I mean, outside of his race, like because the reason why I say this because I remember I hear this all the time, like um you go to a black outing, right? And then somebody maybe a different race says, no, she thinks she all that, and you know what I'm saying, and because she's white or whatever color she is, like you know what I'm saying, they're always taking the black men, right? Do you think it's more difficult that a man dating somebody outside of their race versus a woman dating outside of their race?
For me, I look at it from this it's upbringing, right? If you was in jealousy, some people they feel if they can't get a man, they've been, you know, it could be different things that affect the way people think based off of their situation, right? So if we really break it down, it's on an individual level of how they was bringing. Do they have a fear of different races, and do they feel like the men that they like and desire are going after other women? So now their heart has become hardened to interracial rape. So it's different factors that affect it, and its own individuals, right? We got to look through these shows. We can educate people, and maybe they can start looking at things different. If you feel like you don't like interracial races, what drives those emotions that bring up that negative feeling? And then once you realize that, you deal with that, and then it won't be a problem. Because we shouldn't have a problem with who people love, you know, as
Facts,
long as it's in
facts,
a righteous manner. Because it
yeah,
doesn't affect you at all.
Fact,
facts.
fact. No, I think at least in my experience, it's more generally expected and accepted for men to date outside their race than for women to. And so, in that regard, I think that women may receive more flack or more heat for not dating within their own race or culture, especially if their grandparents, if their elders are influencing their decisions, because in the elders is more so the need to preserve the race, preserve the lineage, rather than diversify and crossbreed and
Um,
inter intersperse that way.
I'm not gonna lie. I remember I dated some people outside of my race, but I always hear they always say, you know what? I said, how would your parents, you know what I mean, willing to because at the end of the day, you got to get involved with the parents. There's no way that you can go around dating a person without seeing the parents when they ready, right? Like but she's like, well, my mom is old fashioned, or my dad is old fashioned, you know what I'm saying? So they not actually telling you, you know what I'm saying? There's not accepted, but you like my dad is old fashioned, right? So he grew up that way that you stick with your own race. But my mom is okay with it, but my dad, you know what I mean? So like it just one of the things when you actually meet them, you're already going in there with intentions, right? Like, if you want to be gonna like me or not. But I had to overcome that, man. And I actually had, you know, it didn't go, it went left, you know what I mean? But at the same time, I asked myself, like, am I here to make the parents happy? or I'm here to make her happy. She accepted me, and that's how it is. You know what I mean? I don't have to be around it, but I have to respect, the parents. But that is one of the things that I had to ask questions, y'all. And third question is, what are some of the challenges you think interracial couples might face that the same race do not?
For me, one of the challenges I think they're going to face or might face is going out in public and getting weird looks, right? You're going to get the weird looks. You also might face, if you have children, that child not being able to be accepted at certain family member house. Uh, you want to make sure that the family's on board before you start having children, because it could cause problems, right? Dealing with a lot of people I know that come from mixed races, it's that the family dynamic that affects them growing up, not being this culture enough or not being this culture. Why do you fit in society? Where do you find your tribe, right? So we got to make sure when we engage in that, we think about other things other than us too. We got to look at the children, how that's going to affect them growing up. Are we strong enough to make sure? Is the family going to be on board to make sure those children don't grow up with trauma? Right.
Amen.
Yeah.
Yep, for sure. I think that one of the biggest things we deal with in society are like judgments and assumptions, right? And assumptions lead to other judgments that are based on erroneous ideas. But that happens a lot, and a lot of people also perceive judgments. And this is something I've experienced in interracial relationships, where a partner would perceive that somebody else was judging us for the relationship just based on maybe the way that they saw them look at us or whatever it may be. And that's where I think it's safe to stay away from assumptions, not worry about what you think other people are judging you as, and worry about why you think that's a judgment that would apply to you, because that feels like a personal thing to work through and to talk about. Because at the root of all of it, for me, it's like communication. The lack of communication was what tore apart the interrelational relationships that I was in, and good communication is what held together and solidified the great ones that I was in.
Oh, them actually really good answers, y'all. So listen, y'all, welcome to Men Take a Seat with Big Country. I have two of amazing men that's sitting at the table, General Freezy and Masterpiece, y'all. Make sure y'all hit them with the follow as well along the way while we here. Just letting you guys know, my top gift of the stream will give us a topic for the following week. Okay, so goes down to this, y'all. We're gonna get to another question. It says cultural understanding. How important do you think it is for partners in an interracial relationship to understand each other's culture and background? How does the education level impacts the culture differences?
I really think that's very important to understand culture, right? When you understand culture, if you're in the coding phase, right, you will bring something culture to let the family know, hey, look, I'm accepting of your culture. This is why I want to date your daughter. And then they should as well learn about your culture. So now you got to understand them, right? A lot of times we're driven off of fear and stereotypes. Once people get to know you in a relationship, then that you can change. You can actually steer a whole different narrative for that family of how they view that whole different culture. So it's important when you go into these interracial relationships, know that not only are you representing yourself, but you represent the culture that you bring to that relationship. So that's
That's right.
important too, because you can steer people in the opposite direction for a whole culture, or you can steer people in the right direction. So you have a higher responsibility when you date outside of your race.
Okay, it's
Yeah, I
good.
agree. I agree 100%. And I think it's absolutely essential. Like, to me, when Country brought up this topic to me, and we were talking about it in the comments and in Instagram, um, my first thought was this always comes down to good communication. Um, the best way to introduce different cultures and different families and integrate them is through good communication about it, because that's the best way to break through those stereotypes and to address them and have them come out and be like, oh, well, I thought that all Asians were this way. Well, okay, let's talk about the differences in different cultures of Asian and also the differences in different cultures within those countries. I learned an, uh, a lot about Thai through my first wife, but I wish I had had a better understanding of the culture, as I probably would have understood why there was such a lack of maturity in my first wife and why that was such an obstacle in our marriage. Um, because I didn't go to Thailand first. I wasn't immersed in the culture first. I went to Thailand a decade after and learned a lot more about the culture and understood a lot more about the family basis and how sheltered people are in such an amazing place as that. It would have helped me have a better insight into the culture that she came from. I don't think that she communicated as well as she could have, but I would have learned better if I think she was more mature in the whole situation. The better communication is often what is needed in a healthy relationship. And early on, communication about cultural differences and cultural expectations and some of the stereotypes that we've carried about those different cultures that we perceive in our partner are really important to talk about.
All right. So here's a curveball. Okay, here's a scenario. You're dating someone interracial dating, right? You're in an interracial relationship. How would you go by with your partner if their parents don't accept you? How
Uh,
would you
I,
deal? How would you deal with that?
I'm traditional. You know, you're supposed to ask the family for the right to even date this. So if the family doesn't agree with you, you shouldn't go against that because it's just you already going into a situation that's hostile. You know,
Okay, but y'all in a relationship already. Now it's to the point of meeting the family. So would you leave your partner?
uh, if you would have went by it right, you would have asked the family before you got in that relationship. So that's on you. You know.
Okay, so here's another curveball. But when you meet a person, this is real scenarios. If you meet a person, y'all date first. A lot of people don't want to bring a man into their family until later on.
And you know that's one of the things that society have changed. We went away from that, and then what happens? You get in a relationship, and that family is gonna not support that relationship, right? Without that family support, now you got a rift, right? You got another challenge in a relationship. Now, from my perspective, how do you fix that? I don't know how, because in reality, I should have followed the let me meet
Okay.
the family and said the family gonna be okay with this. But I made a selfish decision, and now I have to deal with the consequence.
Okay. What about you, masterpiece?
Um, this brings a lot of things up for me because I think that there's a lot of factors regarding whether the in my regards, the girl that we're talking about is um gonna follow her parents or more defiant, more like trying to step away from the traditional cultures of her family or just doesn't care. Because for me, yes, the parents and the family have a factor in the relationship, but the relationship is about me and the individual I'm trying to be in the relationship with. And if they don't care what their family judges us in and how they receive it, and they'd rather just get away from all that, I can respect that. I've had not the best family life all the way through. I don't choose to associate with all of my family, and I even removed myself from my father's life for years because of the way that he has been in my relationships. So I can understand that side of it too. Again, that to me, it comes down to communication. If my partner communicates that they are in an amazing relationship with their family and I have to be integrated in it and I'll be introduced in and they have to accept me, that's one thing versus if they are trying to get away and they're looking to like go explore another place with somebody and start a new thing. And if the family accepts it, great. And if they don't, they don't, then that's a different approach too.
And I want to caveat of that. If you get into like, we'll take example the Latin culture. They're really big on family, right? Even to the point if you're in a relationship and the family needs something, they will take from your nuclear family to give to the extended family, right? The grandparents or that.
Mhm.
So it's all about how people are raised. So when you get into that, you learn that through talking through the parents. You learned a lot about the culture, what do you expect. So without going through that point, now you're in an unknown state, right? Now you develop feelings and love, and now it's time to meet the parents, and the parents might have a whole culture and difference, which causes a rift in the relationship. Now you put that
Mhm.
partner in a tie between the people she loves and you, you know.
Yep. And that's why I think it's so essential to learn about the culture of the person that you're involved with so that when those situations come up, you can have a better understanding of where they're coming from. I know, like, for a very short time, I dated a Japanese girl, and there are much different cultures within the family systems than there are within Korean or Thai or any other family system. Like, everything is so different, and the communication is so key.
Okay, for me, I'm gonna go ahead and answer that question because number one, as I get older and become a man, I want to be happy. You know what I mean? And I say this all the time in my stream. Blood don't make you family, only make you related. You know what I mean? You're gonna have some family members that don't like you because of her color or how she built, or you know what I'm saying, or whatever the case may be. But at the
Sure.
end of the day, do y'all love each other enough? Like, you know what I mean? Like, what it ain't about the parents no more. Like, mom, what about me? What about me and my happiness? You know what I'm saying? Like, how do you see as your son to be happy? Don't you want your son to be happy? Right? At the end of the day, you might not like the decision, but you have to respect it, right? So I've been there. I've been there because it came down to my mom, my daughter's mother. My mom wasn't the best place in her life, but she was drinking and everything, man. So it also based on, you know, the type of environment the family is in. What type of family? I got family bunch of full of drinkers and they drink all the time. You know what I mean? So I came in her life and did the totally opposite. I didn't drink at all. You get what I mean? So now you building her up, getting her away from all this toxicity and negativity, but the parents don't like them, right? So, true story. My mom disrespecting my daughter's mom. So what would you do in a situation like that? You get what I'm saying?
I want
Well,
to say, like, because of that, you see, did that cause a rift in your relationship with your ex because the parents didn't accept the relationship, so they was constantly attacking your relationship. So
okay,
you gotta deal with that. You it's like you can't get away from your parents. They always gonna be your parents.
facts.
So that's why you want them on board. If you can't steer the narrative or get them to accept it, then it's gonna end bad anyway.
So what would you do in a situation like that? I'm gonna tell you what I did, but what would you do in a
Right?
situation like that?
I don't think I would let it get to that. You know,
Well,
if the parents didn't agree with it, I would have to walk away with it because I think that the laws from a Christianity point, honor that mother and father, was put there for a reason, right?
okay,
You know,
okay,
uh,
And
if they don't want you to do that, then it's not for me to go and do it because it's not going to end well.
okay. Then so let's flip the
I,
script. You're right. You
yeah,
said in the Bible, honor thy mother, thy father. Now I'm a
yeah,
mother. I mean, I'm a father though. So you gonna honor
hmm
me? You
yeah.
get what I'm saying?
If I try to date you, they need to respect
No,
your
no. I'm just
decision.
saying. I'm a
Yeah.
father now. We have a daughter together. So it says, honor thy father and thy mother. So now I'm a father and she's a mother. So where's the honor at in that, right?
That's for your child. Your child is to honor you.
But I understand, but at the end of the day, it also said in the Bible, when a man
Hmm.
leaves his mother and father, become one flesh with your woman. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? So my thing is how it went with me. My mom disrespected something that I love. Again, blood don't make you family, it only makes you related. If your family can do these things to you, can imagine what people do. So it got to come
exactly.
down to this. Do
Hmm.
they respect you enough to love you enough that you find happiness? We have a daughter together, so my situation is different. But even though that we really love each other, we really want to be with each other, like, and your mom's always tell you, babe, I just want you to be happy. You know what I mean? Whatever makes you happy. You know how mom and dad always say, I want you to be happy. And then when you find somebody that make you happy, but they going against it, right? So
Yeah.
what happened to me in the situation? My mom disrespected my kid's mom. She poured water hose on her. And I told my mother, you'll never speak to my daughter again. Okay? This is true story. You'll never see her again, your grandbaby again. And it took that. Let me tell you how God, God will put you in situations to humble you. It
Mm-hmm.
took my mom a year. My mom not talking to me, not seeing his grandbaby. She stopped smoking. She stopped drinking. You get what I'm saying? And she apologized because she
Yeah.
was in a dark place, right? So that's where it comes down what place they're in. But
And you did what you did was you made a stand for what's right. You know, because of that, then God worked it out for you. You know, but did that were you able to rekindle that relationship is the key thing.
and I,
You know,
and I
because
prayed
once
on it.
yeah,
I
once that
prayed on
damage,
it. You know what I mean?
what a lot
It's
of times once that damage is done, it's hard to recover from. You know,
yeah. And it took and I remember the time my mom said that, you know what, babe, I want to apologize for what I did in my actions. I wasn't in the right place, but God humbled me. But it brought me closer to my mother. You know what I'm
you see,
saying?
you know what I'm saying? Like now,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah. Yeah. So it comes down to this, like, I didn't want to, I'm happy with this. You get what I'm saying?
yeah.
I got to go home to this every day. It brought me happiness because my parents didn't like it. I just can't walk away from happiness I felt at the time. This is what meant for me. You know what I'm saying? But it comes down to that, man. You're gonna be in some tough
Well,
situations, especially with your mom and your dad, but you're a grown person, you want to be happy. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, and even with
we
people and family members, they're not gonna like because you with somebody. Even if you decide to be with the same culture, they're gonna find something they ain't gonna like about him either. You know what I mean? So it's up to you to bring happiness to the table. You know what I mean?
we we can't expect our parents to be happy with the choices of who we choose to be with. Like that's a very difficult concept within culture, and it's why a lot of cultures have parents choosing marital partners for people. But in the American culture, we don't have that for the most part,
Mm-hmm.
outside of some religions.
Facts.
And as a result, I feel that parents need to be a bit more accepting of it. And actually, it's interesting the question that you raised just now with Freezy, um, because I was actually in that situation before I got married to my last wife, who was half Korean. There was no racial issue with my family, but there was more of a cultural issue with my family because my father didn't respect her education and her career. She had a master's degree, but she had a master's degree in psychology, which for him was pseudoscience. It wasn't real fact-based things that he was in alliance with. And he said something to her at one point prior to our marriage that was so disrespectful that every ounce of my being wanted to jump across the room and strangle him or knock him out. And this was my father was on crutches most of my life. He was in a wheelchair at this time. I wanted to knock him out of his chair and strangle him because he was so offensive and so disrespectful to my fiance. And it brought up so much in me. It was such a big conflict that I actually had a panic attack because I was so conflicted in the way that I felt with my parents at that moment. And what that introduced in my relationship was not a barrier so much as a lack of trust because it created a situation that made my fiance feel that my father and I were aligned and it was triangulation against her, and made my father feel that my partner and I were aligned and it was triangulation against him. And again, it comes down to assumptions and communication because neither one of them talked about it because they couldn't communicate, right? They had all these assumptions and these concepts, and it created a massive problem in both of those relationships for me. And I had to choose which one I was going to continue to invest in. Um, it was a major conflict for me, and it was probably the biggest panic attack that I ever had in that moment. I mean, I bloodied my knuckles against a metal wall that day and
Oh,
all
that's
those
crazy.
things because I was so conflicted in how those feelings came up. And it really wasn't a racial or cultural problem. It was just the way that my father was.
Okay, here is a very good question that the team put together.
Yeah,
Media
Grandma.
and representation. Do you think mainstream media accurately portrays interracial dating, or does it encourage stereotypes?
I think it steers the narrative of what society wants, right? The truth a lot of time isn't popular, but you can make up lies that entertain people, right? And the easiest way to do that is to go off stereotypes, right? Put in the show interracial dating, and then have people looking funny in the background, because that you trying what entertainment do. They try to resonate with people, form some kind of bond. So they put all these different things, and people take that as reality. We need to stand on principles, start learning about ourselves and building ourselves up and making our own decisions and using our own discernment for relationships. And I think a lot of things that help with relationships, if we get in a relationship, we talk to our parents about our potential partner. So they already prepared to say, hey, they might be from a different culture. This is why I like them. I want to bring them to you. And then that way, I think it fosters a more healthy relationship. A lot of times, relationships, people don't like people because they don't know. It's a fear, their lack of education, and they think that, hey, they trying to do something, right? It's a lot of us. Once we become confident and we let our insecurities go, then we accept people for who they are as human beings. I think that's why we need to get to that. You got anything, Masterpiece, on that?
I do actually. I got more lost in your answer than I did in your question.
You want me to redo the
Trying to think.
question? You want me to redo the
Thank you.
question? It
Yeah.
says media representation. Do you think mainstream media accurately portrays interracial relationships, or does it encourage stereotypes?
I think that generally mainstream media tends to latch on to stereotypes because that's what they feel people will associate with and have familiarity with. But I don't think that it's exclusive. I think that there is some mainstream media that's trying to break the stereotypes. In general, I feel that stereotypes perpetuate prejudices. So people that perpetuate those stereotypes and express
Hmm.
them verbally or display them, they're perpetuating the prejudice of, oh, all white people are like this, all Jews are like that, all Asians are like this. So I don't think that the stereotypes that are from historic times and judged as negative should be portrayed in modern media, but I think they are often. And I think that is on all sides of the spectrum. Like I went through the phase of over a decade of just being disappointed that every white person that got on camera with an interviewer on the news was a redneck with very little education and very little experience in life, and that was who was representing me as a white person. Like that doesn't accurately portray what I came from in my society. It's their own thing, and I
Hmm.
think that's accurate with all negative portrayals of racial prejudices. The more we express these and replicate them and say, oh, that's how all these people are, the more we're educating others to carry on those
I
stereotypes.
don't agree. I believe that that is not long ago. Okay, so listen, y'all. First of all, I want to say welcome to Men Take a Seat with Big Country. We have General Freezy, Raw Badge General Freezy, Raw Badge Masterpiece, and myself, Big Country. Thank you guys for coming and showing up. And I see the comments, y'all. And right now, we talking about interracial relationships. Last week, winner was Sosa. Um, her TikTok went viral from her divided to her answer based on interracial relationship with black and white and a husband and wife and whatnot, man. So big shout out to Sam and Sosa for last week, y'all, for being the winner. So right now, y'all, I'm letting y'all know now the highest top gift of this show will give us the next week's topic. So what I want to do is, y'all, everybody press the button to get in the box. If you guys have a question with myself, Freezy, and Masterpiece, if you have a question, please request the box. I have you jump in the box for 30 seconds to say your question, and then allow you guys to get in the box, and then people can fave y'all. You know what I mean? While y'all in the box, they can answer your question or give you guys a fave, and just a chance to get to know each other. And then we're just gonna rotate it because they're going to answer the question the best of their ability. So if anybody have any questions, the floor is open. You said, did you talk about education question? No, I did not. I did not. I can answer that on the back end. If anybody have any questions, so Big G, I'm gonna jump you in the box. The question, if you're gonna jump in the box, make sure you have a question that you want to ask myself or these two amazing gentlemen. It's something based on interracial relationship. Okay, I'm gonna put you in the box, answer the question. Have you enough for about 1 minute, and we're just gonna rotate the box. Okay. All right, here we go.
I'm in the
Hey,
toilet. I'm in the loo. I'm there. I'm here.
what is your question, Big G?
God damn it. Sorry, I was in the toilet. I
Okay, what's
didn't
your
expect you to
question?
pull me up so quickly. I can't hear you. I've got
What is your
headphones on.
question?
Let me turn you up a little bit.
All right, do you have a question based on interracial relationship?
Oh, you're not on my headphones.
All right, anybody else? All right, here we go. What's up, Vibes? My brother Vibes in the building, man. I don't know if it's the phone. Hey, try to get out and get back in, y'all. But I need you try to get out, Vibes, and get back in because it's not working real quick. If y'all have any questions, y'all, feel free to talk about.
Grandon, now's the time if you want to jump in the box
Yeah,
and ask
jump
a
in the
question.
box, y'all, because that way it can get y'all, in the box, get your phase together, man, and ask these amazing gentlemen a question that you guys want to ask. Feel free to jump in the box and ask the question. If you don't want to jump in the
Yeah.
box, ask it in the comments. I just did it because it helps you with your faves.
Kurzbers, it's interracial dating, all things surrounding interracial dating. And I just wanted to add a comment to it that really, for me, a lot of what comes down to the problems and the good stuff in dating is communication. The better we communicate about our different races and our different cultures, the better we communicate about our different prejudices and stereotypes and judgments, the more effective a relationship we're going to be in. But it's hard for people to feel that comfortable, to be that vulnerable, to open up.
Yeah. And I think I want to add to that. Another important thing about a relationship is your will and intentions, right? If you approach things with goodwill and good intentions, then you're going to receive good results. But if you let your heart become hardened to situations and you start getting ill will and ill intentions, then that's what you would experience as well. So we always got to
Hmm.
stay. How can we solve problems with positivity, right? That's something I'm working on a constant basis. How do conflict resolution? How do we address a situation without hurting that person, right? Because we're all fragile, right? We
Hmm.
don't want to be torn down, but a lot of times there are situations that need to be corrected so that our boundaries aren't or our feelings aren't getting hurt. So that's important.
I
That's
I
always
was I was just about to say the root of what you're talking about is boundaries. Learning
yeah.
what your boundaries are, expressing them, and enforcing them effectively for you, that does right by you. Like,
Yeah.
I didn't know what boundaries were in my 20s and my early 30s. But when I started to understand and implement them and understand how I needed to enforce them, that started to protect me from a lot of relationships that I didn't even need to invest my time in. But it also helped me learn to value the relationships that I did.
Hey, Big Country, did you see that comment from Brookie? Interracial friendships.
She said, how about interracial friendship? Do you get a flag for being friends with another race? Um, Me personally, I I really don't. You know what I'm saying? But I do. I will say that you hang out. You say you gonna hang out with your friend that's a different race versus other people. It is that because I don't hang out with my own race or whatnot. I just bond with the person. I don't care what color you is. I just bond with the person better. You know what I mean? And then that's
Mhm.
where the flat comes in. That like you don't even want to hang out with us. I don't think it's more of a racial at that point. They say they feel like they don't want to hang out with us. Man, you too good to hang out with us, and you know what I mean. And no, I always say you always want to be around somebody that's gonna elevate you. I ain't say nothing about color. Okay, you can't be stuck at a place that doesn't bring you value. You know what I mean? So when it comes to interracial dating, I mean interracial friendship, but I also would say this: you can learn a lot from a person that you just met and you know them for years. You know what I mean? You can always learn. So I don't really think I take flack for it. For me, I don't know because I'm in a place that most dominants are interracial in this state. You know what I mean? So I wouldn't even know. What about y'all?
Me, I was in the military, so I got friends I got Middle Eastern friends, I got Asian friends, I got European friends, I got friends all over the country, all over different continents and background. And one thing I have learned, like it's either good people or bad people, right? We all in any society, you can find a version of you, from any culture, you can find a version of you because we all
Hmm.
human beings and we all have attributes and different characteristics that make
Amen.
us us. So
Amen.
I think if we get past that and just understand that we're just different people with different cultures and regions based off where we grew up. So
You
we got to
see,
get past that. We got to be fearless and get to know people, you know.
all right. What about you, Master?
Exactly. Yeah, we have to be open to
What up, Sister Law?
learning new things about different people, different races and different cultures, and even outside of the race and culture issue, just individual different people and how they came up and what their values are and what their boundaries are. Like, we need to get better at getting to know people, in my opinion, because I feel that a lot of people make a lot of sacrifices in getting to know people early in a relationship because some things are really good and they dive in deep and feelings get involved. And then at that point, once they learn about some of the qualities of people, they kind of push them aside or overlook them. And those are important things to get out there and talk about and settle up and be clear about in a relationship, not to just push them to the side and say, "Oh, we'll work it out later." Like, working things out later is is definitely a thing that was of my parents' time in relationships. Oh, that's a problem. We'll work it out later. Push it to the side. Move on. Get forward with your family life. Get forward with your career life. Push those things to the side. You'll deal with them later. And in the end, that makes the relationship suffer. So I feel like in the baby boomers age, it was very acceptable for parents to stay together purely to do the better for the kids, and then they separate, or to not stay together because of love, but to stay together for this or that or the other. But with good communication, I think we can stay together with love, with good communication, good
Yeah,
acceptance of each
that's actually
other's
really good. That's yeah,
experiences.
that's really good, man. I like that one. Y'all, thank you guys for joining here today. I'm gonna let you guys open up the floor, y'all. Listen, I encourage y'all. Don't be, you know what I'm saying, because sometimes it's hard to read these comments. You know what I'm saying? I just say encourage you guys, just jump in the box and ask the question. You know what I mean? You ain't got to show your face or whatever, because sometimes the comments go, and then I don't want to go all the way back in the comments to look for it. So really help me out, y'all. So if you have a question, please just jump in the box. You know what I mean? And we just trying to do something
Or
different, right?
or
So jump in
type
the
it in the
box and ask
comments
the
right
question.
now. If you got a question for anybody, type it in the comments right now so we can see it. We can
Big,
see that's what's going on.
all right, here go Big Smile. I mean Big G. All right, here we go again, Big G. All
How
right,
you
Big
doing,
G,
big?
what is your
I was just
question?
typing. I don't have a question.
All right.
And
So we only
I
letting people in the box, Big G, that people
don't.
have questions. Okay. So
Big
after the
G.
show, you can get back in. But right now, this target strictly for interracial dating. So don't go nowhere. I appreciate you being here.
Hey, role model.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I
What's
Okay.
up? What's
appreciate
Thank
you
up?
you.
being here.
I have a question. I have a question. I have a
Okay.
question. So I'm 55, and how old are you guys?
I'm a young 45.
45.
I'm
I'll be
40.
44 this month.
I'll be 44 next month.
And how old is sorry, General? How old are you, General?
I'll be
So
40. I'll be 44 next month.
And whereabouts do you live in the United States?
hold on,
Alabama.
Big G. Hold on, Big G. We got to stick to the question, though. What is your question?
My question is, where do you live in the United States?
No.
Louisiana?
It has to be interracial relationship question.
Oh,
This is
okay. So,
our
Relate to the
topic.
topic. What's
what
your
state
question?
is the girl you're dating in the
Huh?
United States? And what state is the girl that you're dating in the United States?
Okay, so I don't think you understand. So the topic is about interracial relationships, not
Yes, I
about dating.
understand.
Yeah. So do you have a question about culture, interracial relationships? If not, we
Interracial.
got to get you out the box. You can ask that question after we're done. Okay, don't go nowhere. We enjoy you here. You look good with the headphones on, man. You know what I'm saying? Just keep the headphones on and get back and listen. But we're gonna get back to the next question, okay? So don't go nowhere. Hold on one second, okay? Just stay right there. You look good though.
Um, Donna, I want your AARP discount as soon as it's available, respectfully.
Um, Another question was, not from me, I'm not a parent, but it said if you were in an interracial relationship and planning to have children, how would you approach teaching them about their cultural heritage?
Well,
Uh,
that's easy for me because I got a beautiful daughter named Heaven, right? Let me tell you, this young girl right here, when I raised her, we didn't look at different cultures though. I mean, she's gonna know where I grew up because I brought around my family, how she grew up. Her mom is German, right? German, French, and white. You know what I mean? So even though her mom German, French, and white, they don't mean that she grew up in that type of culture. She was Americanized. So for me, Heaven saw both sides of the culture, man, and I actually told her about where I grew up at and how it was, and I took her back to Mississippi, and she saw how my family is. You know what I'm saying? So I just say education, just be the best parent you can be as a whole. You know what I mean? She gonna ask questions. They gonna ask questions about how was grandma, how was you growing up, dad? You know what I mean? And I'm like, baby, it was tough back then. It's a lot better now. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, so I mean, I just my objective is to that is like we natural because Americanized and her mom was Americanized. You get what I mean? So it's kind of hard.
uh, as a person that been to Germany, I love the German people. That is a very accepting culture. That
Yeah.
is they use a lot of good Samaritan laws. If you ever get a chance to go to Germany, it is like, I love Germany. I go back.
What about you, Masterpiece? I see your question. What up, sis? What's up, sister-in-law?
So I mean, for me, it always comes down to good communication. Like my parents raised me on both of their cultural backgrounds. My mother was Jewish, British descent, and my father was raised Christian, but not really super involved in the church. He used to joke saying he used to be agnostic, but now he's not so sure. Um, and I was exposed to a great deal of different religious beliefs and cultures, and that's the way that I look at it with my kids. Is I want to expose them to a wide variety of different cultures and religious beliefs so that they can decide what is impactful for them. Because the most important thing for me in any sort of spiritual or cultural belief is in the faith that we have in the foundation of it. If there's no faith in the foundation, there's really no true spirituality. So
Um,
for me, it's all about educating everybody about like my own background and sharing what their background is and learning about other backgrounds that we may not be exposed to.
Here's a good question that I have to ask. I just thought of it, y'all. So, number one, uh, if me personally, right? You guys know me. I love the Father. The Son, and Holy Spirit, right? So everybody know that God is my Most High. But what if your daughter growing up and she decided to? Because I hear this all the time. I was forced religion. I was forced, upon, right? Forced this on my parents. Forced this on me. What if your interracial, you know, couple is, or decide to go to a different belief or different religion? How would you handle that situation, right?
Uh, I've seen that happen a lot in the Muslim culture, right? If you get with a Muslim person, um, they're not going to accept you unless you change over to that faith. A lot of other people, especially from a Christian perspective, they can be accepting of other religions because they want to witness to that person, and by not by force, but by showing through your actions, you start to convert people over. Um, I think that is very
Right,
important,
Marine.
especially when you get into the Asian culture, right? A lot of those religions, like Buddhism and got the other one that's practiced over there. A lot of people aren't aware of it, right? They don't study what those cultures. And when you go to Thailand, you see that that whole culture is surrounded around that religion, statues and monuments and all to that those type of religion. So you have to accept that, and you got to accept what come with that, right? There's different cultural belief systems and different ways, like even in Israel, the way they do business is a lot different. If you deal with Israeli business versus American business, they do things different. You know,
Thanks.
you got to understand different cultures when all aspect of when you're talking to people because they operate different, right? That's why when I used to have to travel, I had to get briefed on different things, right? Like one thing in America might mean something totally different in another country, and you got to know these things so you don't offend. You start offending people in unnecessary territory, it gets sticky.
Okay,
So,
okay,
Hmm.
real
so
quick, y'all.
yeah.
Hold on one second, masterpiece. We got 5 minutes left, y'all, before the show is
Um,
over. The highest, the top gift of this show throughout the show, y'all, will be will be promoted on the flyer for the following week, and it would definitely give us the next week's topic, what we need to talk about. So we have 5 minutes left, right? And masterpiece, I'm gonna let you answer your question. We have somebody want to get in the box.
yeah, for sure. I think the most important factor for me about faith is that somebody has faith. So I've studied a lot of different cultures and religions in my time, and the most common factor is faith in a higher power. So I would have the most concern if my significant other lost their faith in a higher power or didn't believe in a higher power, was felt that they were atheist or agnostic, than if they choose to believe in a different God than I do. My the church that my girlfriend goes to on a regular and the church that I go to on a regular are different. I'm willing to go to hers. She's willing to go to mine. We're not going to take it on as our own. It's just we have faith, and that's the important common factor.
Okay, okay. What's up, new vibes?
What's
What's
up, Mr.
good,
New
brother?
Vibe?
How you doing, man? I
Um,
appreciate you coming in. We love to hear your question.
well, country, I don't want to interrupt your show. You only got 5 minutes left, man. My topic has nothing to do with your show. I had forgot that I had the little thing on, and I've been having some network issues. I'm just trying to. I want to talk. We can talk after your show. We
Okay,
could
yeah, yeah, let's
continue
do
on
that.
in all respect. And I'd like to turn my camera off because I've been coming here. I met you 11 months ago through one of the hardest times in my life. And this topic, I don't see color of no kind because I do believe in God. But like where I'm at now, where I look at things, my values are being challenged. You know, I'm broken. So we can just drop me down, and
Yeah,
when you
don't go
finish
nowhere
the
because I
show,
definitely want to hear this, King. I could tell
yeah,
you going through something. You know what I mean? Amen.
Hey, we're gonna say a prayer for you,
Hey,
Mr. New
I'm
Vibe,
definitely gonna
brother.
say a prayer.
Yeah,
yeah, Mr. New Vibe,
That's
I'm
my
definitely
brother,
here
man. I
for you
love
too. If there's
vibes.
anything I
yeah.
can do to support you, and I mean, I think that what you're saying is that you have something related to the topic, if not directly to the topic, because with different cultures come different beliefs and different belief systems, and trying to navigate that with somebody else outside of yourself can be a challenge.
I
To
think it's
what we got, Brookie?
No, I've just seen in the comments a couple of times by multiple people now. They've asked, how do you not see color? Like, because a lot of people have said, I don't see color. And a few people have said, how do you not see color? So maybe you guys can
I
answer
think
that.
that's a metaphor. Is he's not judgmental. because of
Right.
color,
Yeah,
right? It's a
I just want you
cliche,
guys
right?
to answer that for people. So,
It's cliche, but when we can read between the lines what he true, we can clearly see that he sees color. He just doesn't judge people based on their
but
color,
off their
right?
color. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then again, I say the same thing. Like I would help a person. I would risk my life for a person that's not the same race. You know what I mean? Just naturally
Mm.
who I am, right? Because agape is God kind of love. And you know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, I love everyone. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's different levels of love. You know what I'm saying? It's different levels of that. But God is love, man. So I don't look at color, I don't look at race. I just know that I would help a person, okay, you old, young, blue, green, whatever the case may be, man. At the end of the day, we just find love amongst each other. You know what I mean? All right, y'all, we got one more minute left. Brookie, right now is actually uh uh in the forefront of the to name the next show my own admin is crazy.
I,
But yeah,
I I see color in everybody because black is an absence of light and white is an absence of color. And black and white were labels that were applied to us culturally by rich
let
Europeans
me
to try
say,
to separate us by class.
Call us
So
if y'all want to get
F
into
that
car
color.
Linnaeus.
I only look. You said I only look at your shoes. I can't stand a person with crappy shoes.
Facts. Facts. Gotta have good shoes.
All right, y'all. So let's give a shout out to Brookie, y'all. Brookie, you get a chance to name next week's topic. I appreciate you so much. You know what I'm saying? I can only imagine what it's gonna be. But as of right now, we're gonna continue. You guys more than welcome to stay, man. Welcome to um, Men Take a Seat with Big Country. I have some of the amazing men on my show, man. They all raw badges. General Freezy and my brother Masterpiece, man. I appreciate you guys coming to the show.
Appreciate
It
you.
was a very, very good conversation, man. I appreciate you guys so much. So before we move on, y'all, General Freezy, can you tell little people about yourself and where they can find you at?
I'm General Freeze. A little bit about me. I stream pretty much every day. I'm about to roll out some products. I'm going to do my Streamers Academy. To start a game show, and I'm also going to do a comedy sitcom. So I got some product projects I'm working on. Make sure y'all pull up for the Really Rebecca Sniper Wars. We got that going on as well. So we got a lot of P we pushing, right? And I do Riffy Missing Pieces on Tuesdays where we do autism awareness and different mental health issues. So if y'all interested in any of those subjects, you can catch me live, and we gonna get to it. You did. All right.
With a Masterpiece?
Awesome, Freezy. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
so I'm Masterpiece. I don't stream super often over here, although I'm trying to ramp that up. I am on my unofficial official summer vacation, so look for me when you can catch me. But I'm consistent to my Wednesday evening book club stream. I always stream on Sunday for Spiritual Sunday. And then coming up here on the horizon on the 12th, I have my 3-year streamer anniversary party. And on the 13th, I will be in Miss Aquarian's
Let's
Glow
go.
auction. So I'm really looking forward to that auction. The only event I'm going to be in all summer. Aside from that, I'm on vacation. I'm going to kick it here every time I can get over here.
All right.
I'm enjoying my vacation.
Amen, amen, amen. I appreciate you guys so much, and everybody that participated in the show, man, and being here with the questions. Listen, there's no wrong questions to ask, y'all.